Hello again, and it's part 2 of Singing the Soul Back Home. So the only thing I didn't do in part 1 is to talk about Singing the Soul Back Home. So I wanted to give you that detailed understanding first, and to give you this simple caveat. My teacher didn't sing the soul parts back home when he was doing his soul retrievals, and we weren't trained to do it. It's something that came to me much more recently, 4 or 5 years ago it was, and it's like, I like working with sound. This is just before I started to get full into the mantras. And it occurred to me that if you watch these documentaries about shamans, they're always singing, chanting, muttering, mumbling, making sounds with their voices. Why is that? Well, there's something I do find very funny, which is in the West, particularly at the moment, the world is agog with sound baths, gong baths, and people are buying these incredibly expensive devices and using them to perform sound healing. Well, for a shaman this is hilarious, because of course we were given by the creator, God, the source, whatever you want to call them, a voice. And what I've noticed in society is that what happened is people's voices were taken away from them. And the most obvious example is when suddenly loads of young people used to sit around listening to other people performing and singing music. And there was this idea, it's something that experts did. Celebrities are the ones that own sound, and we're just mere mortals. What a crock of shit that is, of course. So I would say to you that if you're a shamanic practitioner, your true liberation will come when you start to explore very, very fully indeed your sound capabilities by making sounds through your mouth and vibrating sounds through your entire body. Yet again, I'm very grateful for my health counsellor's course that awoke me to all this so many years ago in my 20s. But it took until, as I say, about four years ago, something like that, when I realised, why not use this in your practice? So I do. And when you're doing a soul retrieval, and you've got all the soul parts, you've dialogued with them, you've given them what they need in the way of healing, and they're ready to come back, then that is when full on into making sounds. And one of the things that really does make a difference is your posture. And as a Japanese know, one of the most powerful postures a human being can adopt, and some people can't actually do this, it's called Caesar. I'm sitting on my heels with my big toes crossed. This is a very powerful position. In shamanism we have something called trance postures. This is a trance posture in its own right. And so what I would do if I was working with a client and I wanted to sing the soul back home, I'd do something like this. Oh, and I'd be playing with pitch, I'd be playing with volume, I'd be playing with rhythm, I'd be playing with all aspects of sound. And those are just rational mind understandings, but I would just be making sounds and belting them out, and whatever felt appropriate, whatever hit that sweet spot, yeah, that's the sound, that's the one I would concentrate on. And yes, this is something you can do for yourself at home in the bath, shaman or not. Go in the bath or the shower. Great places for practicing sound. 3D society really accept it's normal, so you can feel safe doing it, can't you? So go with some water, commune with the spirit of water and make sounds, and play, be very playful. And this is what shamans have been doing since the year dot. And there are times I will use a mantra sound. Sometimes I particularly like the sounds of Om Shri Namo, which I could do at a different pitch. Om Shri Namo, and slightly faster that time. I can do it as Om Shri Namo. Be playful with your sound work. Sing the souls back home. If you're a shamanic practitioner and you are practicing and doing soul retrieval for clients, if you don't work with sound, be very playful, give it a go, and realize that it's a lot of fun and enjoyment. That's one of the main reasons why traditionally shamans have always sung, especially with the soul retrieval, sing the soul back home. But also they realize that sound is a very healing modality in its own right. Just exposing your client to the sound of your voice, which is tuned into what they require because you're working with your guides and or your helpers. Very powerful healing indeed. So bless all the sound healers, all those that work with the gongs and the bowls and all the rest of it. And my suggestion to you is realize the most powerful healing tool is actually in here. All the love to you.